Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a brand new year and a brand new episode of
Be like that. Podcast. Oh shit! What's up, Mr. L?
Hey, how you doing today? So we're here. We've got a couple of things for you today that we're going to be talking about.
Got some of our top of favorites of movies and video games. Got
for
some
last year, and, and when we're talking about this, for those that listen to it, if you skip ahead or you whatever, it's not necessarily like 2023 specific. It's whatever we saw during the year. So it could be movies or games that we played that are from different years, and we just happen to do them this time.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, for the most part, I stuck to 2023.
I ended up kind of doing it too, but not,
video games. I might have some other ones in there, and I'll explain that when we get there. But yeah,
we also have a taste test today that we're gonna do, which pretty sure that we're gonna be. Somebody might be wanting video. You don't even bring your flowers.
Oh, some bitch!
You're gonna have to modify and put them in there somehow.
Yeah, I'll edit them in there. Yeah, we'll be doing a review, online podcast, Fat Guy Food Review.
That's right. And I'll explain what these lovely drinks are in just a little bit. If you look at the bottles, you're going to guess what they are kind of right away if you've ever had this before, but it is different than what you think it is.
We got a Mexican.
We got a Mexican. Beep, beep,
beep,
beep, beep, beep, beep.
Got a Canadian moose down here.
And then we're also going to, of course, do our picks for the playoffs. The wild card weekend.
Oh, my God. Speaking of that. Hold on. Sorry. Did you see the commercial? It was, I think Kevin Hart was in it. And it was, I think it was for pistachios.
No.
And they had the, I'm going to go blank on his name now, but the coach for the Colts at the time who, playoffs?
Oh, that
playoffs
guy, yeah. With
this team? Dude looking old.
He's old. Was he doing the line?
Yeah. That's what he's saying. He even said like pistachios.
Pistachios.
But no, it was like playoffs. But like
with these people,
just to see him. I mean, it was like he was probably in his.
He was in
60s,
his
70s, or yeah,
he was in his 50s when he did that. So
okay, so
he's probably in his 70s now.
Yeah, and he looked. I mean, you could just weathered old man like.
Yeah, and there's speaking of. Everything with the NFL, the crazy freaking like firings and stuff going over the week.
Oh yeah,
we have Black Monday. There's a couple, that they should have been fired a while ago, and there's a couple that were surprising, and one of them the most surprising to me. But I guess maybe he's not going to be coaching anywhere else.
Who?
So it's Pete Carroll.
Well, from what I understand,
they're folding
he's supposed
him into the organization instead.
Which means what exactly?
That's what I want to know.
Well, why don't you just make him the GM then?
Right.
Because if he's going to have influence or a say, I mean, like, what's that for the new coach to come in? Like, right. Okay, am I doing my thing, or are we doing Pete Carroll's thing?
And it's crazy.
At least if he's the GM. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay.
But I'm going to say, at least if he's the GM. No, it doesn't. At least if he's the GM, that makes more sense of having a role of what he's doing.
He's like the head of football operations or something, like the executive head of football operations.
I got to put my
so many coaches list to go. Wow, yeah, it's crazy. But that was probably the weirdest one to me because he's had 2 good years, even though they've lost Russell Wilson.
What about
Mike Vrabel is another one.
Yeah, the Titans.
Yeah, Titans coach. He's another one. And then he's not going to New England like a lot of people thought. Instead, it's Mayo that's taking over.
Yeah, I guess I was talking to Ray.
It was part of their contract.
Yeah, it was part of his contract or whatever.
That whenever Belichick stepped down, then he would take over.
Did you see my? Oh, you did see it.
Yes, I did.
So my friend Ray posted this.
Goodbye
he's
to
a Patriots fan.
Blah 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 blah.
And so me, I hate Bill Belichick and
it's
Tom Brady, all those guys. What?
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, Belichick. But I don't ever wish will ill on somebody, So, but I made all these jokes and I put in there like,
oh God, not sports. Jeremy, you're in the wrong start of the podcast.
It was like I was like, I hope he stubs his toe on the way out the building. I hope he goes to the gas station, pulls up to the pump, and it says out of service. I hope he goes to tie his shoes and his lace breaks. I hope he goes. I hope he goes to a Mexican restaurant and he orders a burrito. They tell him, "Sorry, no tortillas." I hope he goes to take a shit and he runs out of TP. I hope he goes to the refrigerator really craving something and his wife ate the last of it.
Yeah. And then I added to the mix. I hope he goes undefeated for a season and loses the Super Bowl. Oh, wait.
So yeah, you guys are entertaining enough. I can stand it for a bit. Okay, Mr. Seattle Seahawks fan.
Yeah, you lost Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Oh, but wait, this season he's a Niner fan. Remember, he's both a Niner and a Seahawks fan. Yeah, which makes no sense to me, Jeremy. Well, how could you be both? You can't. Bitter rivals for the division. You can't be a fan of both teams.
Yeah. In the same division? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I could understand if you were like a Donkeys fan and a Niners fan. That would be okay, two different divisions.
Yeah. No,
I mean,
fuck
he would not be happy about it. And then look, I've got the shirt, the craft shirt that I was talking about because I need to do laundry, and this was one of the last shirts in the drawer.
You don't even exist to me. I gotta watch the craft. It's been too long since I watched the craft. What I want to watch,
I kind of want to watch that weird sequel.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say.
And I heard it's not very good, but we'll have to see. You know,
maybe we could throw it on during the Fiesta tomorrow.
Isn't the game on tomorrow? Oh, there is no game during the Fiesta. So the Bills and Patriots have done us a solid with the Bills and Patriots. Bills and the Steelers. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend Steeler Nation here by calling them the Patriots.
First of all, hold the boat. There's only one nation, and that's the Raider Nation.
No, there is no Nation.
No, there is not a Steeler Nation.
Yes, there is.
No, there's not.
Go to Pittsburgh and they'll tell you.
Okay, where'd they get that from? The Raider Nation.
I think they got it from the Immaculate Reception. Is that what it's called?
I will punch you in your fucking throat. I will punch you in your fucking throat.
Well, Jeremy's in Las Vegas Nation.
Whatever, it's still Raider Nation, brother.
But but the Steelers are playing out there. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so it's snowing so bad in Buffalo right now that they're not going to have a game. It's going to be moved to Monday instead. Yeah. So it's enough time. I feel like it's just so they have enough time to take all the snow off and then keep it off.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only reason why they're postponing it by one day.
I don't understand.
Otherwise, we'll have the first Tuesday playoff game.
I don't understand why anybody who plays out where it snows like that. I get one thing for Green Bay, but at least they put the heaters underneath and everything.
I think a lot of stadiums have that now.
I was like, you would think
Buffalo's getting a new stadium.
Yeah, I'm thinking, and it should be domed. As bad as it snows, it snows bad in Green Bay, but over there in Buffalo, it's like where it's like you can't even sit in the seat, and so no, fuck that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is going to be domed, but it might be one of those domes where it has like the retractable center, so that the sun and some of the weather can still come through. If they want to do it, I don't know why the fuck all of a sudden I started hiccuping while in the middle of talking. It's like
thinking about this.
Whenever I fucking record the Terrible Terror podcast, like I could be not talking for the whole day. The moment I start talking on that stupid thing, I start doing it, I start yawning like crazy. I don't know fucking why. And it's always the beginning, the first 10 minutes of the podcast. And it's just,
hey, it's Brian from the Terror podcast. And,
oh God, now you're fucking doing it.
Today we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving 4.
Yeah, the search for more money that we don't have. Because you spent all of your Kickstarter money on Thanksgiving 3 and ruined the franchise. I applaud him for what he tried to do. I do, because it's a running gag that I've had forever with friends. That you skip the sequel because it's going to be so bad that you call it the third one, or you call it the second one. So you skip the original movie. Because we had never seen Subspecies anywhere. Nobody ever had it to rent. And we only saw Subspecies 2. And that's why we said there's no such thing as Subspecies. It's only the second one because it's so bad. Right? And it's but
because you need to exercise your lungs.
Sing a few songs.
Sing a few songs.
Oh no, I'll be fine.
Yeah, right before the podcast, you need to start being like, me, 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 mo, 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 mo.
You guys are the Three Stooges.
Knock knock.
So
a wise guy, eh?
But yeah, before we get into more football talk, how have you been?
This week's just been kind of crazy work-wise. I know I keep saying that every fucking week or every time we play, but it really has lately. I've been going to work every day except for Thursday. I didn't, an hour early, trying to catch up on some cycle counting and some other stuff. Yesterday I was told that the district manager for my area in Reno, my one of my salesmen, and then the guy who's like in charge of all of California up in corporate was supposed to be there 7:00 Friday morning. I said, okay, I'll be there, with bells on. Show up with bagels, make coffee. No one showed up till 8:30. Man,
what kind of bullshit is that? In their management, right? So that you can't be like, no,
yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah. So then, and then the one for that was up in Oregon flew back to Oregon. He didn't even show up. So I'm like, fuck me, right? So, I mean, it did give me a chance to catch up on a few things, and it gave me an excuse to leave early on Friday. I mean, I left at like 4, but, whatever. I wanted to leave at 3:30, but I was like, I want to get a couple more things done before I take off. But other than that, I mean, I just got some bad news about one of my nieces being sick. She's doing good, but she did have to go to the ER the other night, and she has RSV or
it's a respiratory
RSVP.
virus.
I don't know what the hell it's called again.
AEIOU,
Yeah.
WXYZ.
RVD. I don't know.
No, that's... yeah, about to say, that's something completely different.
Respiratory shitty virus.
Well, you can see, to go on to wrestling for a second, you see all those like accusations that are being thrown at Chris Jericho right now?
What?
With, what is her name? Kylie, whatever, AEW girl that quit a couple years ago. They're saying that he might have Weinsteined a couple people in the organization.
I mean,
it's allegations right now, so I'm not saying that anything happened, and I wouldn't put it past it not being true.
I don't know Jericho personally. Honestly, though, I don't get that vibe from that guy that he would
do something like
shit like that.
There's a lot of people. I ran across a TikTok and I looked at some of the tweets, and I looked at one of the TikTok. This is the part that I hate about all these things, is that people just take small things like just a small little clip of something, and then they make it so that, hey, this is the end all be all because this was said or this happened in this little thing. Like they were taking a picture of him like at a party kissing somebody on the mouth and saying, oh, did Jericho cheat on his wife? And like going through the whole thing, and it's like, okay, so some friends are so close that they do that regardless. Some people kiss them on the cheek. No. Some people do little pecks on the lip. It's not like you're hardcore making out with the person, but they're saying like, oh, that was signs that this is true. And I'm like, they both have alcohol in their hands. They both are at a party.
I tell you
they're
what.
both excited. But what happened? It's a still photo. Yeah. You guys are just taking everything to the extreme.
I'll just say this because I'm not going to make accusations or assume that he yes or no. I don't get a feeling that Jericho would do that from some of the other shit that I've seen about business shit that he does. But at the same time, I don't know him personally, so who knows? But I'm not just going to go off of some fucking story. I'm going to wait until something gets proven. That's just how I am. People right away when a guy gets accused of something, oh, he must be an asshole, he must be bad.
Right. There's pitchforks everywhere.
There's a lot of these bitches out here that lie. And I'm not saying all women lie, but hey, we know someone that tried to pull that shit on me.
Right.
And that's why I say I'm the first one to say until you got full proof, until it's proven, until whatever evicted of something, I am not going to sit there and say the guy's an asshole or he's wrong.
I agree.
I'm not going to say he's right, but I'm not going to say he's wrong because this happened to me, and thank God it happened in the time before all this bullshit where someone accused me of doing some shitty shit, and it could have really fucked me up. So I will never just jump to a conclusion and say, oh, well, he must be a dick. No.
Yeah. I agree. It's just the way that things go with everything nowadays. Everybody's so quick to jump on every little thing, whether it is something like super serious like that or something that's just dumb. Yeah. Right? It's the same way. And so now for the next hour, we're not doing anything that I'm talking about. We're just going to talk about the Epstein list. Let's go.
No. Been self-sabotaging.
I ain't fucking touching that with a 10-foot fucking pole.
He did his running.
That was part of the video that I saw where
being
like,
a
the
dick
crowd was
being
booing
a
him.
dick is one thing, but like being accused of assaulting someone like that is a whole nother ballgame too.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to defend him. I don't know him personally. I'm not going to automatically accuse him. All I do know is Fozzie was a fun show.
All I know is that Fozzie did a pretty good job.
So
And they got at least one banger.
but anyways.
But yeah, so
That's the first I heard about that. I have to look into that once we get off. This.
So anything else that you got?
There was something, but now I don't remember what the hell it was. Oh, I know what it was.
Is it magic?
Oh, whoa, it's magic. So, something else that happened
Patrick.
while we were off was in 3 championship games in fantasy football.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, got second place in another one, which really pissed me off because the one I really, really, really wanted to win, because I've never won this league, and it was more money too.
But you got second, right?
I got second, but it just pissed me off because I was basically the best record through the whole fucking year, and it wasn't just best record. Like, I mean, I was dominating like pretty much the whole year. Of course, what happens championship game? People decide to either not show up or they're fucking hurt. Assholes.
Well, that's because you play with a league that doesn't end in week 17. You
No,
play
it
when
does.
it plays. Really?
Yep.
Oh, I thought that was the league that played until week 18.
Nope.
Which is just a terrible idea.
Well, it was when I talked to him, it was his first year he did the league and he forgot to change it. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
okay.
I can't say though. Shout out to Mr. L in the chat, the PTO Limited podcast, champion of the PTO Limited podcast. And then you know what? I just realized something.
Leave a voicemail or something over there.
I did. I just realized something. I looked at from last year. I believe I'm a back-to-back champion.
Oh, does that mean I need to play like music or
I don't know
sounds?
I just need to get me some more championship rings.
Let's see. What is what
you got to get me another championship.
Here you go.
Championship
ass, titties, ass and titties.
Oh shit! But anyways, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing. Jack and shit. I
Jack and shit. Jack and shit.
But we were talking before stream because I looked at my emails again and I didn't realize that somebody had offered me an interview this last week because I never got an email from Indeed. Mm-hmm. Like they messaged through Indeed and it never. I looked through my whole emails when I went on there last night after I finished up the recording for the podcast thing. And then I saw it there, and I replied to him and said, "Hey, I'm sincerely apologize. I didn't see this email. If you still have time to talk, I'm willing to talk, blah, blah, blah." And he emailed me back this morning, so once we're done with the podcast, I'm going to do that. So, and that's at, it's a production manager at a cabin shop or cabinet and whatever. I have to look at the job again because I need
the cabinets in the woods.
Yeah, but basically it looks like it's a mixture of... operations manager, production planning, moving stuff out, basically might be like buyer stuff and things like that. Stuff that I've done before, and the pay is decent. It's good enough for what it is. And then the other one, hi Charlie, this annoying cat. You can hear her down there meowing really loud. Well,
right now,
the other one
is not the best thing there, Jeremy.
But the other thing is that I got another one that for a job I applied to yesterday in the day, and I got a weird email back. This is the first team that I've got from it. It's called what was it? Let me look at it real fast. It's a type of interview that they have. Oh, it's called a one-way interview. So It's like I have 2 questions, and I have to record my answers via audio. And then when I do that, give her a mic. She ran away already.
I'm a cat, meow, meow.
And so I basically have to answer these 2 questions within 5 minutes and then submit my answers. And I can re-record 3 times. That's it. So it's just like
this.
I feel like it's going to be like ranting. But again, as you were saying, it's like, where's the person? Just give me a goddamn interview. Interview.
I don't like this shit. I hate... Everybody wants to be so happy about digital and AI and all this other shit. But if I'm getting interviewed, I want to be fucking talking to someone. Not, here's a question, record your fucking answer.
Right.
And send it to me.
And the thing is...
sorry. Oh. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, and the thing is for me is that it allows, the only thing that's a positive for me is it allows me to actually say, write out my answer and then read it.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I stopped doing those types of interviews after I did a 4 or 5.
You did 4 or 5, never heard back.
Well, that's what I say, heard back. Now, granted, you can go to an interview and not hear back right away, but at least you get a sense
Right.
of how they like. I don't know how great this went. I might not get a call back, and if you don't, then you go, well, that makes sense. I recorded an answer and I sent it, and now I have no fucking clue what's going to happen. And $20 says they're using AI or some other bullshit,
right,
to do the response.
Right.
You know, and if it's a fucking interview, it's for someone's fucking job. Talk to me.
Right.
Don't give me this bullshit.
And it was like the interview that I did do last Wednesday, where I had to take like 3 tests, like two quiz type tests, and then one that was written. And I wrote and they're like, there's no time limit on this. And in an hour and a half, I wrote like a 3 to 4 page essay basically on their prompt question, which I was just like, I was not happy with it. And all I had was a pencil and paper. And I'm like, you could have given me like a word processor or something to type it up on instead, so that I can go through and make sure that, are you worried about what my spelling's like? Are you worried, like, what are the qualifications? And there were other things that were kind of weird about the position anyway. But yeah, it was just interesting in the way that it goes. I see my Cartman plushie. Got you made into the video. Yeah, he sits back here. He's always on stream. If you ever check out the stream,
There he
he's
is.
always back there.
I read him say. I read that, and I'm like, I was looking around, like, where the hell is he talking about?
It's right back here. The Cartman plushie
damn it!
sits in the back. Sits in the back with everything else.
Shit. But yeah, well, I mean, like I said,
Damn it, no Ash.
hopefully one of these pan out for you. You know, in
hopefully something pops up. You know, this one might be promising. Like I said, I'm going to review that and review the company again before I do any interviews. You know, it's a phone interview, so, you know, I don't have to get dolled up or anything like that for these things. But if I have to,
at least
I'll
halfway
do it.
up, right?
At least halfway up. If it's a video interview, yeah.
Just wearing a nice shirt, tie,
That's what
and
I
your
did on
fucking
that
Speedo.
one. I was wearing like my shorts, but
were-
I was all dressed up from the top up. And what pissed me off of that is that camera was having a problem focusing in, so I couldn't get down to that one in time, and so it wasn't completely focused in. I was like, this is annoying, and I had to apologize for it. Say, hey, I tried for the last half hour to get this camera to work right. I'm sorry that I'm blurry.
Should have just been like solar flare.
I should have just been, Sting up in the rafters is what I should have been.
Just point with a bat.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Hey,
Zach, you leave her
leave
the hell
cat
alone. So I don't know what's up with that dog and that cat. I swear to God, they're always the same. Always messing with each other. But yeah, that's basically it. Other than that, you know, playing games, looking for work, doing all that fun stuff, and enjoying some stuff. Like I said, I was playing that game Godlike Burger on Friday. That was a lot of fun.
Wish I could have seen it.
Yeah.
Like I said, so to give a little content on that, my brother-in-law Nilo Angelo 420, who's in the chat, go check him out. Every time he streams, and if I try to watch it on my phone, it won't let me. It just, like, it pauses, it freezes. And I had never had any problem with that. I don't have that problem with Dragonfly Rain streams. I don't have a problem with Mr. L streams. I don't have a problem with cute_kitty streams. I normally don't have a problem with Terrible Terror streams. Yep. Shout out to all these people. Go check them out. But yesterday when he went live, I went to go, let's watch the game. And it kept cutting out. Now, if I'm on Wi-Fi, yes, it's fine. But I've never had any problems with anybody else other than Nilo Angelo 420. And then all of a sudden, now yesterday, his was having problems. So I deleted the app, reinstalled it, still has a problem. I might try doing like a suggestion that Brian said about just resetting the whole phone too and see what happens.
Might be the case.
That's a great excuse, no, not to have to watch him. Bro, I'm a mod,
that's true.
And
He is a mod.
I did throw all the links and everything there, even though I couldn't watch it. So
this is Charlie.
He has a chocolate factory.
No, she doesn't. If she does, it's not the type of chocolate factory that you're into.
she's
I have to clean up the place where it gets
Charlie
produced.
is a female, so she works for Disney. Anyway,
She does.
got changed to a female cat.
No, it's not. It went from a male chocolatier to a female cat. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. No,
the cat
he
world.
just wants to. Zach wants to chase her so bad, but he's gonna end up knocking down a camera or something, and I'm gonna have to kick his ass out of the room and do all that fun stuff. But nonetheless, so yeah, that's basically been it. There's nothing been really exciting going on here. I'm just, like I said, trying to not spend a whole lot of money, chill when I can chill, and do whatever it is, going out here or there for all this fun stuff. But to become that streamlinaire.
Candy Mountain.
I'm staying at being 100 air for a while.
I respect. Well, just run, stupid.
It's like, no, he's gonna catch me.
Ugh.
Well, I'm sure Luna's somewhere back there in the corner in that mess there with everything. So, all right, let's just jump into NFL picks and talk about the other little things. So what were the other surprises and coaches that you were saying that got fired? Like the Atlanta coach was
the Tennessee coach for sure.
Vrabel for sure. Yeah, we already talked about Belichick retiring, or not retiring.
How long
but
was Rivera in? How long was Rivera with the Redskins?
3 years.
Was it 3?
3 years. Yeah, he started off. He didn't start off with Sam Howell. He started off with what's his face.
Yeah,
for 2 years.
I think that he should have got. I don't know. I feel like that team was starting to show some improvements, but
it was to some extent. But it's still interesting. I don't know if Ron Rivera needed to be let go.
That's what I'm saying.
But I have a feeling that because whoever owns the Commanders wants Bill Belichick to coach the team, that's the reason why he was let go.
Yeah, but why would you let someone go before you know you're getting the guy? Unless he already knows.
Unless you know.
Which wouldn't that be illegal that he was talking to someone during the season?
I don't know. You never know what's going on with that. So, all right. So we got games. We got one game that's kind of going on right now. We're about to start in just a moment, and that is Cleveland at Houston with the playoff picture.
I'm going with the Browns.
I'm going with the Texans. This is more of a cheering type of game because DeMeco Ryans was our DC, and then he takes over the head coaching job of a Texans team that was absolutely trash. Gets a amazing rookie quarterback. I hope he doesn't turn into like an RG3 where he has an amazing first season and then he just kind of. Also, he's not going to have Mike Shanahan run his legs.
Exactly. I'm like RG3 got ruined by Mike.
He did.
Shanahan. He fucked that guy over.
Yep.
Big time.
Yep. He should have just kept him out of there. But then that made Kirk Cousins a star. So you're kind of like, it's a mix. Maybe that was his plan all along. But yeah, I think just with those two, and then to make the playoffs in like kind of with that motion going in, I think it's going to be a close game. It's a rematch where Houston kept in the game with Cleveland, but Houston didn't have C.J. Stroud during that game, and they kept it close. So we'll see what happens.
See.
I think that they can eke it out in that, but it's going to be an eke. Then you got Miami going into Kansas City. That is the game tonight. Only for the first time ever in the NFL history, streaming on the cock.
On the cock. Which is bullshit. I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either, but I am going with the Dolphins too. I don't agree with them streaming only.
Yeah.
I get it that streaming is the way to go, but it's like, again, we talked a little bit about it on stream this morning in that, Peacock is not doing very well in terms of its streaming, like, hierarchy and everything. Only the people that want to watch Yellowstone have Peacock readily available. And it's just, you're putting it on a platform. I know that there are a lot more younger generations of people that are going to streaming only, getting away from cable and stuff like that. But then when you go to somebody like my parents that don't have
my father-in-law who's coming over to watch the game.
Right. The older generation of football enjoying people that don't get into or just don't do streaming. They still stick with their cable and whatever. My dad got into YouTube a year ago.
My dad's big into YouTube right now, too.
Right. It's all of a sudden he just experienced. I'm like, YouTube's been around for years, and I've told him about it for a long time, but also my dad don't computer so well.
Well, see, and this is the whole point. This doesn't piss me off again. About Crystal's former job doing DVDs with I can't read what he said.
With the streaming. Oh, he just is the cock, and streaming on Peacock is so strange.
Yeah. With Crystal working at Netflix and not because she was doing the DVD side, And I'm sorry, there's still, like me personally, there's still stuff that I would like to watch that they don't have on streaming that you could get on DVD.
Right.
There's still plenty of people our age and up that would rather just do the DVD thing and not do the streaming because they don't understand it. Well, I mean, I understand it, but I mean, I still, I still have a want for physical media. With the thing in here goes the rant, soapbox time, is that
I think that might be copyrights. I can't go do. Well, fuck it. Who cares about our channel?
But yeah, is that people don't seem to understand that when you buy a movie on Apple, whatever podcast, or is it iTunes or Google Play or whatever the fuck you use. You buy that shit. It says you bought it. You own this fucking movie now. But then they lose the rights to that movie. They take it off their streaming service. Guess what? It's off your phone now. You don't own it no more, and you're not going to get your fucking money back either. So this is stupid. That's why, like I said, I get moving some things to digital, but there's nothing wrong with having physical copy. Video games, all digital. That's what they want you to do, is all digital and shit like that. But then what happens if they decide to shut down the servers or whatever? You don't get that video game no more. Also, the fact that, the main thing is, if you have the physical copy, you can still pop that disc in and play it. But they decide, you know what, this game's been out for a year, and we just don't want to keep the servers up no more.
You know what sucks about it too is a lot of times that for some of those people that you buy the physical disc, the disc just tells the unit to say, hey, go over here and download it. The game files aren't even on the disc. Like, you're getting a box. They basically send you a box and like a CD that has some stuff, because you still need to be able to update it and do all this other stuff. And then it's getting to the point for a lot of things. And that's what happened recently that people found out with Sony when they lost their license with Discovery, that all the shows that they had bought were not purchased for Discovery. They had to go away because they can't have them anymore because the license is expired. So Sony lost that license, and it's not on the PlayStation anymore. So they fucked a bunch of people that had done it, but they agreed to it with the terms of service when they purchased it. Yeah. With not knowing, people are mad about this when it's in writing. If you read the documentation,
who the fuck reads that shit?
Nobody does. That's the thing, is that you can be mad about it. I'm totally fine, but you have to know that that's going to happen.
And I get it. It's there for you to read. If you don't read it, then you don't read it, and you're fine. But still, it's just on the other end of it, though. What's the other end of it? You don't get, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to need that service, so of course you're going to fucking agree to it. But the same thing like I was saying about the video games. I'm not getting a physical copy anymore. I'm not going to fucking GameStop or Best Buy or Target and getting the special editions where I used to get these really cool fucking figures or stuff that came with the game. Mm-hmm. No, we're going to charge the same fucking prices.
Right.
And it's all digital.
Right.
It doesn't make, if you're getting a digital copy, it should be half of the price, or at least like $20 to $30 cheaper. Period.
Right.
In my eyes.
And the thing is, like you said before, they can easily wipe it. There's plenty of games that have been released as quote unquote digital only that were completely wiped, and you cannot find a copy unless you had it downloaded. I'm not talking like PT, where PT was a demo and these, but there's actual games that you can no longer play that never had a physical release. This is just Charlie. This is what she does all day. And you can't get anymore because of what they've done.
Now I want Zach to eat your ass.
So, but yeah, she does this. This is what she does when I stream. This is what she does when I play with you
I don't want to be near Zach, but I'm going to keep running in the room in front of Zach.
I want to keep seeing you guys.
Moron.
Anyway, so then we got Green Bay at Dallas.
I'm going with the boys. I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I hate to
First
say
of all, they're at home.
I am going with the Cowboys because they're at home. I think that Green Bay is definitely up and coming. How Jordan Love has become this much better in just a little bit of time, and Green Bay doesn't really have to skip a beat and makes the playoffs again.
But also at the same time,
you have tons of rookies.
You don't know what the fuck you're going to get with Green Bay. Are they going to show up and actually play?
Their
or are they
defense
gonna
is what's suspect.
Yeah, it's just I don't think Jordan Love's as good as everybody thinks he is.
I think he's better than what people thought.
Yes, but I don't think he's like how they're trying to say he's the next Favre or Rodgers. No.
I think they still have somebody solid there. It's not like you got a Kenny Pickett.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just making the point that they're trying to, he's going to be the next Aaron Rodgers or the next Brett Favre.
No.
No.
He's not, oh, he throws similar. It's like, you guys are just a little bit too much with everything. Now she's rubbing all of them. I love you. Please don't chase me. All right, yeah, I'm still going with the Cowboys. Like my predictions that I made for the year is that they're going to lose in round 2 to somebody they should have beat.
We'll see.
So I think they'll win round 1. But if they lose, but we'll see. You got Pittsburgh at Buffalo. I think this is the hands down easiest one.
Oh,
of the
you
week.
skipped one.
Did I? No. Oh, you're right. The Rams of Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
I'm going with the Lions.
Going with the Lions too. I think the Lions can actually beat the Rams. I think that it's going to be closer than what we expected to be, but I think Detroit wins its first playoff game.
Agreed.
It's crazy. And because they're at home. That's the reason why. I think the crowd is going to be so pumped up. Now, I'm not saying the Rams
All good,
aren't
bro.
hot.
Thanks for joining us.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Rams aren't hot right now because they're fucking hot.
Yeah, they came
really
back
are.
and yeah.
Right, and Puka Nacua is, again, that dude's talented. Really fucking have him and Cooper Kupp on your side for wide receivers. That's going to be terror for years to come.
Yep.
But what happens when Matthew Stafford has to retire? Who's going to be their backup? Because Carson Wentz only got signed up for a year deal, and he's definitely not going to be the star. And I knew, too, I know that we were playing backups, but I'm like, I know the Rams are going to win this game. Why are the Rams going to win this game? It's Carson Wentz has never lost to the 49ers. No matter who he's played for, he has not lost.
No.
So it's ridiculous, and I don't know why. It's
Yeah.
but
He
I know
has
it's,
the touch.
it was third string
has the
players he was playing against.
feeling.
I get it,
Yeah.
but still, I was just like, okay. Then the next game came. Like I said, this is probably the easiest choice of the week in my opinion, which is Pittsburgh at Buffalo.
Well, I'm going Buffalo, but
the
I
Bills.
also, God knows who shows up for the Bills, and
I
see
think that this is
I can
the
see a
only
scenario
one.
where Steelers can win this.
Possibly, but you got your top edge rusher is out completely, and the guys that because TJ Watt's gone, he's injured, he's not playing the rest of the season.
He's taking after his brother.
And you've got a quarterback that's just still kind of
Yeah.
he is. He's taken after playing too hard and getting injured. It's amazing how the Bosa brothers have not experienced this, though Joey Bosa towards the end of his career started to get hurt more often.
Yeah.
So, but JJ Watt was hurt constantly because he also pushed himself more than he had to, in my opinion, and that's why he hurt himself a lot. And then the final game of the week, we got Philadelphia at Tampa Bay.
I'm going with the upset, and I'm going with the Bucks.
I am going with the Bucks as well. I think the Eagles are really beat. How bad is that finger of Jalen Hurts? Because he got taken out in the last week's game. Because that thing looked fucked up.
Yep.
Too.
And Brown's not
he's
playing?
supposed to be, AJ Brown is out. Yeah, they're just hurt. They're hurt. They don't have a linebacker core right now. And Baker Mayfield's been playing pretty well, even though the games have been close to it. But he's been playing well through injuries like he kind of always has, too, which is crazy. So if it doesn't affect Jalen Hurts so much with however if they tape up or they do whatever with the finger, but if he takes too many hits on that side, he may just be out of it too.
I mean, at the same time, too, why risk your franchise quarterback? You know what I mean? If it starts to get to a point and his hands hurt, take him out. If you lose the game, you got next fucking year. Yeah, you guys had a great fucking year at the beginning, but shit went downhill. Shit happens. Go to the
5 out of 6. 5 of the last 6 they lost. So it's crazy. It's crazy even to think that when it comes to the way that they started the year. They started the year really fucking hot. All right. So that's it.
This is
for
why,
our
this
picks.
is why we hot.
And then don't forget that the Buffalo game got moved to Monday because of snowstorms currently in Buffalo, with everything going on. So
Hence
we'll have that.
why they should have a dome.
hence why we talked about they should have a dome. So next up on the docket, we shall go through a couple of stories. How does that sound? And then we're going to do our little taste test.
Yep.
The whole thing.
Hungry.
Because he's getting hungry and he needs to get crunk. All right. So I've just got 3 little stories. One that's a California staple story that I want to talk about, and I'm actually going to talk about that story first. So what would you say is one of the most famous Central California restaurants ever?
Central California?
Central California. Everybody knows this place.
No, an actual
It
restaurant?
is an actual restaurant.
Or, okay,
This
so it's
place
not like
is
a
closing
fast
down.
food or something.
After 100 years, this place is closing down. And it's just closed.
There's some in the Bay Area?
Nope.
Where's it at?
It's known for one thing, and it's in Central California. It's off the 5. Pea Soup Anderson's is
Oh,
closing.
Jesus.
Legendary roadside restaurant Pea Soup Anderson's is officially closing.
Oh,
and
man.
it just seems like it's out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've never been there, but everybody I talk to says their pea soup sucks anyways. It's like watery and not that great. But I mean, I definitely know of the place.
Everybody knows of this place because you see the signs as you get closer as you're going down to LA. When you drive down to LA rather than just fly down there. Mm-hmm. And I have eaten there before. I hate pea soup, so I never had the pea soup.
Yeah.
My dad's always like, it's pretty good. It's not the best, but pretty good. But their food in general was pretty good, you know. And we went there, I want to say, when my grandmother passed away, and we went to bury her in the same cemetery as Marla. Mm-hmm. We actually stopped there to have dinner with everybody before we went and finalized, or maybe it was after the burial. We all went there and had, lunch or dinner or whatever. But it's just weird because this is a staple definitely from my childhood. Yeah. You're going down, you always see it. And I remember always just wanting to stop there because you see all the signs
pea
and it
soup,
has that.
X amount of the best pea soup in the world, voted best pea soup.
They would sell cans of their pea soup when you went there, so you can get it.
Yeah, so pea soup does sound good though. I know like you said, you're not a fan, but
I am not a fan.
I think I might try to make
why
that.
I'm not a fan of pea soup because I wasn't. Remember when I was young, I wasn't feeling well. I told my dad, my stomach is upset. I'm not feeling well at all, and he took us to Dell's here in Castro Valley, and he said, "You know what we're gonna get you? We're gonna get you some pea soup, and that's gonna make you feel better." I ate the pea soup and barfed all over Dell's counter, and since that day, I have an aversion to pea soup.
I can understand that. I remember one time that's why I didn't eat ramen for a long time when I was a kid. I was sick one time. My dad made me ramen for soup, and I just up till about this was like when I was in elementary school. Up till about somewhere in high school is when I started eating ramen again. It's just like the smell of it made me my stomach upset.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. I understand that can happen with it.
I fucking love ramen too.
Okay, and then here's the story involving Dunkin' Donuts. So,
the world's most overrated donuts.
Most overrated donuts. Man says exploding toilet in Dunkin' left him covered in waste, debris, and now he's suing them.
Hold on. Sorry, Arrow, if you're in chat. Mr. That's the best donuts and coffee in the world.
Oh, it's the worst coffee.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those are the dry.
It just shows more proof that East Coast has horrible taste.
No, I have a feeling though that maybe there's something about certain things East Coast that kind of change the way that, because I don't get it. Like, I judge my donut shops on French crullers. Right, because French crullers are supposed to be moist, kind of juicy, lightly coated
fluffy.
On the top, fluffy. You bite into it, it should almost be like you taste like a little bit of milk when you bite into it. So nice and soft and moist, right? Yeah, you bite into one of Dunkin' Donuts, and it's like the Sahara fucking desert in your mouth. You're all of a sudden you got super dry. It's like you've totally turned off every single woman that you've ever been with in the world, and she doesn't want to have sex with you. That's what happens when you bite into a French cruller from Dunkin' Donuts.
What's she, Crystal, say? Coming from someone who doesn't really drink coffee, huh?
True, but Dunkin' Donuts coffee sucks.
Or are you talking about Arrow?
Coming from Arrow saying it's really good. Like, the thing is I'm not like, oh, Starbucks is the way that it is, because I'll tell you around here, it's definitely Phil's. But in general, and I'll drink I'm drinking that Pussifer coffee. It's Pussifer. Okay, Crystal? Pussifer. That's the way it is. It's meant to be a joke on pussy. It is. Because that's his sophomoric humor. Mm-hmm. So that's how you say it, Crystal. Pussifer. Anyway, Kat, one of the times when she went to Arizona, she brought me back some of his coffee because she actually went to his winery and store, which I wanted to go to, but it was so out of the way from where we were when we traveled back. And so I'm actually having it, and that's what was in there, and it's okay. it's not the best coffee in the world, but it's not the worst. It's not Dunkin' Donuts coffee, which I've had before, like their ground coffee, which is terrible. But yeah, so to get back to the story, so Florida man, he's seeking $50,000 in damages after he said a toilet in Dunkin' location exploded and covered him debris, feces, and urine. So the lawsuit was filed in Orange County, and Paul Kerouac alleges he visited the men's restroom at Winter Park Dunkin' Donuts outside of Orlando on January 6th of 2022. The commode erupted, leaving the plaintiff and the loo covered in its contents, the lawsuit said.
The loo.
Can you imagine just sitting down and you've finished taking your shit, and then you press down on the handle, and all of a sudden you hear the rumble, and you feel it coming under your feet? Like, I'm still wondering what exactly, like, what exploded? Was it like the top part that exploded, or was it just like a geyser of shit that shot out and completely covered the bathroom?
I think I know what happened.
Oh, what was it?
I think I know what happened. So, you know, do you remember the Goonies?
Yes.
So they
you think
were
it was Chunk?
No, I think it was
he
Sloth.
did the truffle shuffle and
they're
caused
underneath
the ground to rumble.
They're underneath trying to find the treasure, and the pipes were there, and he pushed up, you know, all of the pipes, and
then it just shot the water. So he should.
And
You're saying that he should be suing Sloth,
exactly,
not
and then
Dunkin' Donuts.
The town bully got the shit shot all over the place.
Also, how are there no photos that have been released that this guy would have put online? I don't necessarily want to see it, right? But if I
get what you're
were
saying.
sitting on a fucking toilet,
I want some
and
evidence.
I got shot up into the air, or like it exploded and I got shit all over me and piss and everything like that, you know, I would have taken pictures, be like, look, this is the shit that's going on. And then if nobody believed me, here are the pictures. I'm going to put them online.
It's a reverse bidet. Put the shit back in there.
You know, maybe he was in there getting his jerk on, and because he's in Dunkin' Donuts, he's a little bit horny, and then as he's about to explode into the toilet,
ooh, this dry curler. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's how he loves his women, just like Dunkin' Donuts' French crullers, dry as a wasteland. But he's only seeking $50,000 in damages. You would think that somebody that gets like knocked off, a toilet explodes and covered in shit and everything, you'd be wanting more than $50,000.
I want $150,000. We can sell out of court right here for $20.
And that's when he looked over the lawyer and said, I need about $350. And that's when I realized this guy wasn't the Dunkin' Donuts guy covered in feces and urine, but a monster from the Paleolithic era.
And I was like, get away from me, monster. I ain't giving you no $350.
I just awarded him $350 the other day.
God damn it, woman. I told you to give him $350. He gonna keep coming around. Oh, well, he asked for it.
So Dunkin' has declined to comment as the litigation involves a franchise location, and they've said that something like this has happened before, but yeah, he's suing for sustained damages, including
Dunkin'
injuries.
has said this has happened before?
No, somebody inside supposedly has said that they've had issues with it backing up or overflowing stuff, not necessarily exploding. I just wonder what he means by exploding. Is it literally like he was sitting on the toilet and it reverse bideted him, right? Like it didn't really go all over the restroom, or the toilet didn't blow up. Like, it literally just shot up and hit him in the ass, and he liked it a little bit too much.
He was like, ooh, that hit my male G-spot.
Or is it like a ghoulie in the toilet?
A ghoulie? Maybe the fucking... It's promotion for the Killer Clown game. Maybe
that's right.
They had got some of the, you know, the seeds in there, and there was the popcorn guy coming up.
Oh, the popcorn thing coming up.
Yeah.
Coming out there and trying to, you know... Oh, no, that's something different.
Oh, that's it.
That's chasing Amy.
So right when he gets his money, he's like, also, I want to say, make sure you check out the game Killer Clowns coming out on all consoles. Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
Why is he wearing a Killer Clown shirt?
And then Christopher Titus comes out in the middle of nowhere. And he
punches him.
Fuck. Can't get away from that movie. All right, last story before we get into our picks and our drinks and everything like that. And so this has to deal with Xbox, and it has to deal with one of the games of the year, which is Baldur's Gate 3, which has been finally released to consoles.
I was just about to say that to you.
And
I saw that on there.
Xbox has been banning players who have been playing it because of the nudity that's involved in Baldur's Gate 3.
Why are they banning players?
Because you're not supposed to upload anything into the servers that contains nudity, and players have their settings to automatically upload like clips or upload like achievements, like if you take pictures or it takes a video of it. So they'll get like an achievement or something, and then it takes a snippet, and the guy happens to be running around as, gnome ballsless, sitting out there with his dick flopping all over the place because he thinks it's fucking funny, and it gets uploaded into the Xbox cloud servers, and Xbox goes, "You're uploading porn." And because you're doing that, they've been banning players. Now they've since gone back and they've adjusted for specifically for Baldur's Gate, because by default that stuff is turned off. You have to enable the nudity if you want the nudity in the game.
Why wouldn't you want the nudity?
I don't know why you wouldn't want the nudity. I mean, basically that's the way Brig runs around our camp. He had sex with a mind flayer because Quentin and I said so. Though I realized when we were talking on Thursday, I was like, what would have been funnier? Because right in the beginning of the game, Brig does not like one of the characters, which is the one that you see on screen. It's Starion. He doesn't like the guy for some reason. I think he's one of the better characters.
He doesn't like the Goblin King?
No, he's an elf. He's an elf vampire.
I thought he was, it looked like...
No, he's not David Bowie.
David Bowie.
This is not Labyrinth, and that's not David Bowie. And so, he killed him, and we've left him dead the entire game. Even when Brig left, we left him dead. But, then we just decided, you know what? Let's bring him back to life. The funniest thing fucking happened where the character who's been dead for 40 hours that we've been playing this game, remembers everything that's happened up until this point. And we're like, you bring him back to life, and all of a sudden his story continues on and doesn't. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And then I was like, it'll be funny. We should have made Briggs' character have sex with Astarion instead. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, okay. They sure did give you that message deleted by monitor. I hate these people. I get the people on Twitch. This is something to sidebar. The people on Twitch that go and hey, I do art and I'm going to do this and here, look at my stuff. PM me on, Twitter or where the fuck it is. Those guys fine. But the ones that jump into Ito had somebody jump into his chat while he was doing, he was reacting to a React video and it was kids playing hard NES games. And so I sat there and was chatting with him at the same time we were making fun of the kids and shit like that. But then somebody jumps in there and he's like, "Oh man, bro, I want to support your channel so much. Could you go into Fortnite and use this creator code for me?" And it's like, okay, yeah, support his channel by supporting you with a creator code?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I rather would support other people. I'd rather put that towards Josh or put that towards you or whomever that would be. Somebody that I actually know and I actually watch.
Sorry, I missed it. I just went to the bathroom. Oh, you're good, bro.
So, come on into the fucking channel and start doing that.
Yeah.
Or the other random bots. I'm surprised. I thought I had set up a bot for this, but I guess I'll have to set up WiseBot for this as well so that we can get rid of those types of things. But yeah, Santa comes early by, exploding a toilet in your ass.
and then elf vampires look like David Bowie.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so it was an Xbox approved feature with an Xbox approved game. Why potentially albeit in a way potentially violating Microsoft policy when they largely moved to assure fans that it was working on Microsoft to sort out the annoying and uncool suspensions. So,
well, I'd be kind of pissed if look, you put this fucking game on here.
Right.
So you knew what was fucking involved with it. So how are you going to sit here and tell me it wasn't like some little indie game that somehow they snuck it by you? This is the fucking game of the year and shit.
That's why they said it's an Xbox approved game.
Yeah.
It's like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk has a ton of nudity in it too.
Yeah.
And nobody got banned by Cyberpunk doing any of this type of shit. Because even at that time you could still upload clips. It basically, if you decide to clip something, say you did something that was naked and funny, right? And it automatically uploads to their cloud server, you got banned or suspended.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Again, this is I'm not shitting on Microsoft. I find this kind of funny, but come on.
No, yeah. I feel the same way if it was Sony and Nintendo.
I shit on Sony
or
earlier about the Discovery thing.
Yeah, it's not a console thing. It's just a stupid little thing that.
How did you not think about it?
Yeah.
So.
And it's probably someone else too. It's probably someone who's in charge of something who's like, oh my god, that's sensitivity.
Well, they just have a policy of not uploading nudity up there.
They don't put
And
games on the fucking console that have nudity in it. Or guess what? We're adults. I know kids use it too, but you know what?
Yeah.
They have to get approval to buy the goddamn game, right?
Just wait until GTA 6 comes out and all the crap that's going to go on there.
Oh, yeah.
You can only imagine, right?
Everybody's going to go to the fucking kids.
If you're going to go to
Fucking
we're going to go to the kids strip club. All right. It's going to be it's going to be nothing but a 14-year-old's role playing in the strip club. I'm not talking about that type of strip club. I'm just saying that's where a lot of like young boys are going to do. They're going to go straight to like, can I have sex with a hooker? Can I see naked people in a strip club in this game? Oh, mommy, buy me GTA 6. It's not really that bad. And we're going to have to go through that whole fucking cycle once again of, oh my God, I didn't realize that this mature rated game was bad for my kids. Fucking idiots, man. I'm just so shit. All right. So we're going to do our little taste test. I'm going to go
Let me give you this one.
real fast and hit that button right there for you so that now we're recording this episode so I can give you the video recording of it later on.
Cool.
But so I found this out because I was watching a streamer on Wednesday and Monday. They were doing a board game stream, which I enjoy every now and then depending on the board game that they play.
Mm-hmm.
And they were playing this like pirate board game that they had. And somebody went out and they were like, oh, hey, hand me one of those Cantarios. And I'm like, what the fuck is Cantarios?
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but
could be.
And Cantarios is actually made by the same people that make Jarritos. And if you know what Jarritos are, they are, different flavored fruit sodas, right? And my favorite, actually, they do have, which is the tamarind over here. These are Mexican sodas. Mm-hmm. And Cantarios are the hard alcohol version of the Jarritos. So I told Patrick, I'm like, holy shit, they have these. He's like, oh, we should find them. And I found that Safeway has them. Safeway had them on sale this week.
Score.
So we decided to do a taste test for these. So Patrick, I know this is mostly like your video type thing.
Yeah.
But,
Well, go ahead and describe it. It's all good because you
all
have.
right, so this one is the Mandarin hard soda. So this is like your classic of the Jarritos, right? They're classic flavors: Mandarin, lime, tamarind, and fruit punch.
Yep.
Fruit punch.
This one
Those
here
are the ones
is-
that you find on like the regular.
They don't have a lime, but they have a pineapple.
Oh, so they have a pineapple instead. So this one, I think these are probably like super sweet.
Oh, you can smell the alcohol.
Oh, can you?
Smell that.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
Hold on. Let me.
And one of the guys that was
This only
drinking
says
it,
5%, but
one of the guys that was drinking says the reason that you drink these is because you're already buzzed and you just want to keep the buzz
keep
going.
the buzz going.
And so you don't, the taste of something. So that's what was like, oh, all right, cheers. Let's see what happens. That's pretty good.
You
I
don't.
like it.
You don't really taste. You don't taste the alcohol.
I can taste some of it, but
I mean,
what I was afraid it was going to be like super sweet.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. That is like a
That tastes like a
like a.
Jarritos. I
No,
haven't had
I'm
one in
saying-
a while.
I'm saying it tastes like you're drinking some shit and you just want to keep a buzz going. And
I
not,
definitely think that this
something
would
hard.
be one of those ones where, yeah, if you need. So guess what we're drinking during the fiesta on Sunday? Because I've got what? There's 20 bottles I think total, or 16 bottles. So I've got a bunch left over. All right, want to do the fruit punch?
So now we're gonna move on to the fruit punch.
I want to save the tamarind for last.
Yeah, that works for me.
Not just trying to do it in order for what it's sitting there. So. How does this one smell?
It smells about
also?
the same. And it has, a little bit of carbonation.
I think I like this one a little bit better. This one I don't taste. The other one I had a little bit of a taste, alcoholic taste. This one I don't really have it as much.
I'm the opposite. I like it, but I feel like I could taste more alcohol in this one.
Really, that's weird.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be flying fucking high later.
What's good? The sugar?
I should go. Yeah, probably because of sugar. Might as well go out and get me a weed gummy while I'm at it. I'm drinking. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't eaten yet either, so Other than that burrito that you had made.
I think I'm gonna make some ramen when I'm done with this. I've got these like ramen things from Trader Joe's that I need to eat.
So this is the pineapple one.
El Piña. All right. Oh, this smells a lot more like just pineapple too. Like the other ones I could smell a little bit of the alcohol, but this one
you can
like
smell
mostly
the
just
sweetness.
pineapple.
Yeah.
That one's good. That one's really good.
They're getting better and better, bro.
I wonder if it's getting better and better because we're drinking them so fast.
Oh shit! My fat ass ain't gonna get nothing off of that quick.
All right, and there's Luna down there.
What? I feel like they're getting. The more we're going in, the better they're getting. But this one was really sweet, and I like that. But when you think of alcohol, you don't really think of sweet drinks.
You don't.
But I really like pineapple though too.
It's basically a hard soda, is what this is, right?
Yeah, I really like pineapple, so I like the sweetness of it.
Okay, this is the one I'm hoping doesn't taste disgusting because I love the tamarind. Like, I really wish the Jarditos guys would make a zero version of these.
You should write them.
I should. Or, well, just zero version of the Jarditos. Oh, it smells like tamarind, too. That's my favorite.
That's good.
Hands down, this one is my favorite because tamarind is very sour, even in the drink. It's not like super sweet, so it has a little bit of sour kick, and this has it. And I think that flavor messes well with the alcohol.
Does. Personally, though, I'm gonna go. Okay, let's do the order real quick.
You go ahead.
So, I know Brian kind of took over a little bit on this one, and that's fine. I told him to. My hair's all poofy. But for me, if I'm going to put them in order, I'm going to go the pineapple, the tamarind, fruit punch, and then the mandarin.
So, for me, I'm going to go with the tamarind, the pineapple, the orange, then the fruit punch.
Okay. I mean, I respect it.
I like the orange a little. The thing is that if I were to rate all of these in like a whatever out of 5, right? Like 5 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5.
I agree with that. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Because I don't think either of these two are bad. They're basically the best of the bunch that's there. And these two, they're good. It tastes really good, and I really can't taste the alcohol. Now, I know there's a little bit in my mouth that's like the little stickiness that goes on with it.
Go on.
And I can feel yo. Then there's a clip that's going on there for Quinn.
Please clip that.
But in general, it's just like it's a soda like type of flavor. Like I've had hard sodas before, and that's where that type of like thing goes on. But I think I probably could drink a whole one of those and not be like not feel bad, but not be like, oh, I need to drink something different.
I do like how, though, it does say on here 5% alcohol volume. It contains alcohol 21 plus, but it's at the very bottom, and it's not like at the top.
Oh, I know. It
should be like right here.
It's because
adults.
It's because Mexicans.
Well, I mean, we've all of us Hispanics have had beer when we were real little,
except for the ones that grew up with a white dad. It's different when your mom's white versus when your dad's white.
I guess so. I still remember that my first beer.
He's German.
3 years old, sitting on my dad's lap in the rocking chair when we lived on East Street in Hayward.
Yeah.
Hey, son, you want to try this? Yes.
I love that they have to put that stuff on here. Contains alcohol, 21 plus. But I wish that I even looked on the box. Like I tried to figure out like the nutrition label for this to see how much sugar is in one of these. Mm-hmm. Is this going to be like way too much for me to have like a whole bottle or something like that? And it didn't say.
I'm going to kill this pineapple.
Yeah, I'm probably going to drink the rest of the tamarind that's going on here as we do the rest of the podcast.
So, yeah, thank you for checking that out, or, for the YouTube part of it. And make sure you check out the other videos. But we're going to continue on with the podcast.
And then, you can always put your stuff in later for that. So,
exactly.
The last thing that we're going to do while we chill on these,
sip on these delicious drinks.
And now here's Luna to come and join the day with her bald ass. But yeah, so we decided to talk about what our favorite movies and games of 2023 were. And like we said before, they're not necessarily the movies that were released in 2023, but it kind of just ends up like that because I'm just like thinking out of the ones that I really enjoyed. I think maybe there's definitely one in this list that I did not see until 2023, and it was released in 2021, 2022. So, but you want to start first with movies or games?
Movies.
All right, you go ahead. What's on your list?
Okay, so definitely, you want me to just go through the whole thing?
We can go back and forth or however you want to do it.
Okay. All right, well, for my first one, like I said, this is no particular order. I just put them in on the list. But, of course, getting a call from my dad.
Of course.
Godzilla -1.
I might as well just add that. That's on my list, too. It's my favorite movie of 2023.
That movie was awesome. It was great hearing Brian yell at Scott during the movie.
It's because he wouldn't shut the fuck up during something.
Well, let me just say this in his defense. I do find that we do that a lot sometimes in movies, but I think you took this one a little more seriously. I was more into it, I should say, not seriously.
Because I was super into it's right. You are right in this. I was super into the movie, and it was a scene that didn't need to be like
I agree.
Pissed off about.
That was him. I laughed at what he said, but I
didn't think it warranted it.
I understand.
Because you have to.
I get that.
And if you don't know the scene, here's just a small spoiler. It's when the lady pushes him out of the way. No, it's not the crying scene. That one warrants laughing about whatever. But it's when she pushes it, and the thing is, it's all done in slow motion. I already said spoiler alert. It's done in slow motion, and it's an instinct push. Mm-hmm. Of course, she could have dove with him, but the way that it is, it's just her instinct was just, I'm going to protect him. Yeah. That's it. That's all I'm spoiling about the movie. So you can just chalk me up. You can go to your next one because Godzilla -1 is on mine too.
No hard feelings.
Oh God.
You say oh God.
I know, it's just not my type of movie. So.
And I get that. And it's not because you got to see the very talented and sexy Jennifer Lawrence nude. It is overall a good movie. And there's a scene in that movie that I've even gone back to watch the scene just to watch the scene real quick. And it's a scene where they're at dinner and the kid goes to play on the piano and he does a version of Hall & Oates' Man-Eater. And it's really good. It's like really, really good. It's a really, really good scene. Is there some stupid parts of the movie? Yes.
Well, it's a dumb, gross-out comedy, isn't it?
No, it's more of a romantic comedy kind of thing. But there is some over-the-top stuff. Like I said, there's some parts that are over the top, and you're kind of like, okay. But for the most part, it was just like kind of a refreshing thing to have that kind of comedy again on the screen. Because we don't get comedies so much.
We don't.
We get comedies sometimes, but not like that. Not raunchy-ish romantic comedies or just raunchy comedies.
Comedies in the theaters anymore. They all go on VOD nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. So
because comedies don't really make the money that the big action movies do.
But I would say watch it. I want to get your opinion. Watch it. But like I said, these were my type of movies back in the day. I used to watch these type of movies all the time, and I loved the fact that they finally had one come back in the theater, and it was really, really, really good. So that is one of my favorite movies.
Literally, just to pause you, this is what she does. Like this morning we were playing Fortnite. This is where she was the entire time, sitting in my lap. Like, and then she just will decide, I'm done, and just walks away.
That bitch.
This bitch right here. This is Luna. Okay, so my next up on the list, I'm cheating here because it's two movies, but they are the same continuity. It's Pearl and X. These ones I saw for the first time last year. It is I'm waiting for Maxine. Maxine's coming out this year. Holy shit, are both of these movies. Mia Goth is absolutely fucking amazing in both of these movies. And they're both excellent movies, even though they're different genre bending things, right? Yeah. The first one's definitely more of a throwback to like Texas Chainsaw Massacre style, and that 70s exploitation horror, whereas with Pearl, it's a very magical Wizard of Oz type of thing that's going on with it. It's just cool.
That scarecrow scene, though.
There's such good characters, and it's such good direction, and you have this magical whimsical thing to it. I can't fucking talk. They're in like some of my favorite movies of all time, and it's not just because it's horror.
Especially Pearl, I feel like more, but maybe even X. It's like a Godzilla -1 thing. Yeah. It wasn't a huge budget type of thing, and it was really, really good. Right. I mean, you could tell me that. I'll throw those in my honorable mention because they weren't from this year, right?
Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, so, but that's same thing. I watched X with you.
Yep.
And then
I
Dragonfly Rain and I watched Pearl later.
So
Maxine, we're there.
We're there. So with X, I wanted to see it in the theater, but I was scary of it. I was not scary of it, but I was like, is it going to be good? Is it going to be whatever?
Is it an A24?
Yes, it is.
I think that's what kind of scared me off.
And that's the thing is A24 puts out one of two types of movies, either really artsy-fartsy bullshit or extremely good movies. Yeah. And it's hard to tell what it is. For every Pearl and Maxine, or not Maxine, and X, you're going to get a, what was
it
that
comes
movie?
at night.
It comes at night. Right? Where you don't expect what it is. It's not a bad movie, but it's marketed totally wrong.
Which I'll say that again. That's a movie that I've wanted to go back to and watch again. Damn, check out my freaking...
It's because you downed them so fast,
I know.
too.
It's a movie I want to go back and watch again, but I was pissed off because they marketed it as a certain type of horror movie.
Right. And it wasn't.
And it was completely not.
Yeah. And I totally get that. And that gives you different outcomes on the movies. And that's what I was a little worried about here. But I did it for the podcast. And with X, I watched it like 5 times. And I had to show them, and I showed other people. I sung its praises. And then I went and saw Pearl. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe like everybody needs to see this too.
Just the way you said that. I did it for the podcast.
Oh, Jesus. So
I did it so you get the download, so I can get the downloads.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, so what's next on your list?
All right. I know this is going to be on your list too, so we might as well check it off together.
Well, let's see.
Thanksgiving.
It's an honorable mention. It's a great movie.
That hurt my heart.
I was only going at 5. That's why.
Okay.
If I went up to 10, it would have been included in there, but I did 5 and 5.
Thanksgiving.
Good movie.
I love that movie. I saw it twice in the theaters, and I have no regrets about that. I'm waiting for it to come out so I can watch it again. It was just. Go ahead.
Oh no! Say they just announced that it's being the release date for VOD, but I didn't read the article. They were saying it's gonna get it one soon.
It's just a good slasher movie.
Mm-hmm. Eli Roth in good form. It's funny
and
it's creepy. It does a good job. Tells a pretty good story. And for a slasher, it's exactly what you want it to be.
And if it did as good as it did, if it gets a sequel,
I think
you already know the CGI is gonna be. Because there was a couple of, I'll admit it, there was a couple of CGI parts where you're like,
I would like them to go a little more hardcore on the practical.
Yeah, I agree. But some of the CGI were like, but you know what? It made the movie what it was. So
this dog, I swear to God. He's like just laying on top of you. That's what I told you he was doing to me earlier today. Or he got on top of me when I was on the couch and was laying on top of me. He was like, oh, all right. This one might be on your list. I don't know. I might have 2 more that are on your list, but I'm not sure. Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise it was my favorite movie of the year until Godzilla came out. Till Godzilla came out and I saw Godzilla, that became my favorite movie of 2023. But Evil Dead Rise is good. I can take the orange one afterwards. But Evil Dead Rise is really good. It's a fantastic. Yes, it's got problems at the end of it with the monster and stuff like that. But I still think that overall, the mother that gets possessed by the Deadites, that actress is she's amazing in this movie. And again, it's characters more than just the gore and everything else. I know a lot of my stuff is going to be horror, but that's because it's a lot of what I watch.
I want her to be possessed on top of me. Yes, to me, I think it was my favorite movie of the year.
Evil Dead Rise?
Evil Dead Rise. Definitely. So I guess go back to you.
Oh, go back to me. Okay.
Well, because that was on my list.
That's true. It's on your list. Okay, this one might also be on your list, but maybe I will. TMNT Mutant Mayhem.
Honorable
one
mention.
Of the best fucking comic movies, and I think also this year was released Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, or was that last year? That was this year.
Yeah.
Fuck. So that one should be on the list as well. I will put them both at the same spot because they're both similar in nature. But the animation, what killed it for me with TMNT, and I'm not killed it in a bad way, but made it really excellent, was the soundtrack. The soundtrack for that TMNT movie is classic East Coast hip hop, and just like I said, the animations. Yeah, there's a couple of things that are, I think, a little cheesy in it in what they did with the story, but it's a good turtle story. It's a good turtle movie, and I thought I was gonna be really upset with the way that they made the kids, and I fell in love with the voice actors, and because all the promo stuff they did was like, oh, the cool stuff to get the kids involved, yeah. And then you watch the movie, you're like, those are good voice actors.
Yeah.
Those kids did an excellent job, and they wrote the characters and they wrote the turtles so well. Can't wait for Shredder.
I had a little issue with kind of how they did stuff with Bebop and Rocksteady and some of them, but overall it was really, really good. I extremely enjoyed it. I loved Superfly.
Superfly was great.
Fucking Ice Cube, and I'm sorry, that's one of my favorite scenes when he's in there beating on Donatello, and he's like, he's mollywopping me.
But I think it's great. I think the animation style is beautiful, and same thing with Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought that was last year. I kind of forgot about it, but I think that was better than the first one, in my opinion. But I think that in terms of, it's hard. Those two anime movies are like the best of the year. I really want to see The Boy and the Heron, but I have not seen it. And that's the return for Miyazaki in the Studio Ghibli films. This is directorial. It's him come back after he retired like 5 years ago to do a movie, because his son did a movie that was absolute garbage that he hated, and he's like, I can do a better movie than my son, and now he's back actually proving his son wrong. Like, literally, that's the situation. I still want to see The Boy and the Heron, though. But those two movies, from the way that I love what they've done with Miles Morales in those movies, I think that they got the right voice actor. They have the right story and build. I love the animation style where it feels very comic-y. It didn't feel as jarring in this one as it did in the first one. But, yeah, I put those both at the same thing, so.
Yeah. So, well, then, for my final one, before we get to all the honorable mentions, would be, which you brought up, but Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
I can't believe I didn't think about that movie.
No. But for honorable mentions, I'll just run through the list, and then you can run through yours. Definitely the Super Mario Brothers movie. It wasn't, if it would be my top 10, it didn't make my top 5, but it definitely was a great movie, and I had a lot of fun with it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I thought it was a really good way to kind of close out that trilogy. It was its own thing throughout the whole time, even though it was connected to the MCU. The whole thing with Rocket, that was just amazing. Megan, I really enjoyed Megan. For me, it's like I said, that's why I made it an honorable mention.
I still need to see the unrated version.
Me too.
I think, is that on the cock?
I believe it's on the cock.
Oh, I've got the cock now. I can watch
Megan is on the cock, unrated.
Well, whoa, wait, whoa. I don't need to see Megan on the cock unrated. Not that Megan.
And then my final one, even though there could have been some other ones that thrown in there, but I'm definitely throwing this one in here because I just fucking love how stupid it is. And I know you're going to go, oh God, but Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah, that was one of my list of one of the worst movies of the year.
But I knew it was going to be bad.
I knew it was too, but it wasn't. My thing is, it wasn't so bad it's good. Like,
For me,
I
it was.
didn't totally enjoy all that stuff that went with it.
No.
I've thought about doing that on the podcast, on the Terrible Terror podcast too, but I'm still thinking about it. I did do a video review, which you can check out on the Terrible Terror podcast YouTube channel.
Man, you always self-plug.
Anyways, always self-plugging. Anyway, so my final movie for one of my favorites of the year is the Dungeons and Dragons movie Honor Among Thieves. Fucking a movie that gets the Dungeons and Dragons stuff right.
I still need to
so
see that.
many things that are right. It's on Paramount Plus, I think.
I think so. I saw one of them.
And I really wanted to see it in the theaters, and I ended up not going because I didn't want to go by myself at that time. And I think when it did come out, I was going through whatever shit I was going through at that time. And so, but I saw it streaming. I think I saw it on Paramount Plus, and it's fun. It's a good action, really good humor. I was surprised, and the fact that it does the D&D universe right. Like people play paladins in a way, and this is getting dorky, where they kind of like forgive stuff that paladins do. Where in that, the paladin acts like what a paladin's supposed to do. So stop blinking at the camera. Now you're grown at this one. Honorable mentions, as we mentioned, Thanksgiving is an honorable mention. Cobweb was really good. I really enjoyed that movie. Honorable mention on that one, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Renfield. I fucking loved Renfield. It was so good. I loved how they tied it back into the Universal Monster movies.
Yes.
And they actually superimposed Nicolas Cage in them.
On Dracula's.
I don't remember if this movie came out this year, but the Nicolas Cage movie with what's-his-face? Pedro Pascal. That was this year. That was 2023.
No,
I believe. I want to say that it was.
I don't think it was.
The Irrescapable or whatever. Blah 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 blah. You can look it up. I'm talking about it. And then you mentioned one of the movies in that list too that I totally blanked on, and I would say Cocaine Bear. I thought Cocaine Bear was fun. I think it needed to get away from the stupid things. It was 2022. I thought it was 2020. Was it December or November? See, this is the problem when things are so close to the end of the year that you're like, oh, you don't remember. But it's still a good movie. You should see that movie if you haven't seen that. But Cocaine Bear, pretty fun movie.
Wait.
Yeah, see, October, November.
No, wait, that was something else.
Oh, anyway,
release date April.
Jesus Christ. Well, anyway, you should see that movie too. Whatever of Massive Talent, the unbearable weight of massive talent.
So another one that I forgot to mention that I saw just watched recently, The Machine.
Oh yeah, I wanted to see that movie.
Bert Kreischer. It goes right off of his comedy special, basically, and it's. I mean, is it stupid? Yes.
Yeah.
But is it like, hey, I want to kick back and watch a movie, and I'm a Bert Kreischer fan? It's fucking great.
Yeah, I would.
And you have,
Mark Hamill.
I
would definitely mention then, if we're talking about like recently, but I would say When Evil Lurks is a very good movie. It's available on Shudder. It's an Argentinian film done by the guy that did Terrified. I found it very fun. It's actually one of my favorite horror movies of last year that was released last year. And then I just recently saw it a couple days ago, which I had a lot of fun with it, which is Satanic Hispanics, which is a anthology movie, kind of like VHS or something like that. But it's all Latino directors, it's all Latino cast, and it's got some good stories. And there's one with a vampire that's fucking hilarious. Like it's a mixture of straight up horror type of stories and weird horror stories, but then comedic horror stuff. So those are our favorite movies for the year, for things that we enjoyed watching with our munchins. Now, do you mind if I start the gaming stuff that goes on since you started the other one? So in terms of games that we played, I'm going to get this one right out of the way, and everybody's going to know what it is. Baldur's Gate 3. Jesus fucking Christ.
Really?
Surprising. It's honestly... I understand people get burnt out, and especially like long RPGs and stuff like that. I was getting burnt out with Final Fantasy 16 as I was playing it, but I'm like, no, I want to finish it. I have not got burnt out of Baldur's Gate 3. It's still fun, and we've been playing it for months now. Yeah. And we took a little bit of a break because we played some other games, because Quentin and I have been doing it on the stream. But I love it. I love it so much. Good characters, good voice. Everything in the game is voiced. Everything in the game. There isn't something. Only thing that aren't are books, which don't need to have a voice. But everything that needs to have a voice has a voice.
But they have you to read the law like these.
Of course. Bleh.
Bleh. I know that went to a Dracula.
My best Dracula. Bleh. Anyway, so yes, I'm getting that one out of the way. Baldur's Gate 3 is one of my favorite games of the year, hands down. I'm pretty sure I've got at least one or two that probably you have on your list.
I'm pretty sure too. I'm going to go with Mortal Kombat 1.
Good game.
I really enjoyed it. I like how they were trying to kind of start everything. I enjoyed the story mode of it. I'm waiting for some more of these characters to come out. I'm waiting for Peacemaker now. I got to see when he's coming out. But
I don't know the version that I bought. I don't know if it comes with DLC people or not.
I bought it. I made sure I got it.
I bought the one I think that comes with Van Damme, so I think that's
honestly,
what I got.
Actually, I take that back. As much as I want Peacemaker, I want fucking Homelander.
True.
I'm fucking
just
Omni-Man would probably destroy Homelander. I get that, but Homelander is I just fucking
I
love
just
that
hate
character
that the
so much.
actor is not voicing his character.
Yeah, that's
dumb.
true. But,
J.K. Simmons voiced Omni-Man.
Yeah.
Why can't he voice fucking Homelander? Does he want
know.
more than J.K. Simmons does?
Or maybe just conflict interest because he was doing Gen V and all that stuff.
Could be. All right. So next on my list, and this is probably on yours, Spider-Man 2.
Definitely.
I think Spider-Man 2 is a very good game, very fun game. It is the first game that I've platinumed in a long time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in a long time.
Second game I platinumed this year.
Oh, what was the first one? God of War? I think I'm one away on God of War, but I stopped. I actually need to reinstall it again. Just because the PlayStation, I don't have as much space as this machine does. So, like, it's when you... Like, Final Fantasy 16 is literally like 120 gigs, and God of War is another 120. I'm trying to finish something else.
No.
It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well, yeah, the only thing I have the problem with, and I'm just going to go along with this as my pick too, because it's on my top 5, is I wish there was more when it came to the part with Venom.
Yeah,
you
it seems
finally
like
get there, and I feel like it was shorter than it needed to be, and I wish we had more dialect from Tony Todd.
Yeah, but I think he was a great Venom.
Oh, fuck yeah. I completely agree with that.
If they did an animated thing, I think I would want him to be Venom from now on.
Yeah.
Though there is rumors that maybe there's a Venom like DLC that might be coming to the game.
Okay. How great would it be if he would say, "Be my host."
All right,
so we might as well go again. So
next up on the list, this is going to be 2 games because they're both in the same vein: the Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space remakes.
I have them separate, so
I have them together because it's a remake. That's why.
But still,
that's
they're
why
2 separate games.
But they're in the
if they
same
were
vein.
like connected games, then okay. But
right, but they're not really connected. I put TMNT in fucking Spider-Man. I can't. If I have to give it to one, I give it to Dead Space over Resident Evil. Because I prefer that universe more, and I'm more familiar with it. And while Resident Evil 4 was really good, I'm say it's really good, there was something about how even the atmosphere changes in Dead Space made it feel fresh once again.
So for me, I'll throw these both in here. They're both on my list for my top 5. Dead Space was fucking great. I completely enjoyed it, and that's why it's on my list. Resident Evil 4, I think I have as my top overall, but I think that's just because Resident Evil 4 is my...
You have so many... You own as many copies of Resident Evil 4 as I own of copies of Chrono Trigger.
Yes. I got the original on GameCube. Then it came out for PlayStation 2. Got it. Got it for Xbox. Got it for Xbox One. Got the remake. I mean, if there's a version out there, I've probably played it. So
yeah, I get it. You were
between
hard on for Leon.
If you ever, yeah, if you're just a hard on for fucking
Isaac.
No,
for Necromorph.
No, for I'm gonna go blank on her fucking name.
Are you talking about Isaac's girlfriend?
No, Ada. You're just for her voice actress.
Oh. And that's where I would put Resident Evil lower than Dead Space. Like everything in Dead Space is like even the guy that did the voice acting for Isaac, who never had any lines in the very first one. Like it's great. I think everybody's like they did things to the system and the way that the AI moves and how everything, even though I knew everything, how they kept it fresh.
No.
And the thing is, you're right with Resident Evil 4. That was my first time ever playing the game. Yeah. Was the remake. The Dead Space, I've played Dead Space I don't know how many fucking times, and I still got scared shitless. Yeah. Some of the changes, okay, I get them. And other changes, I'm like, they were for the better.
F Dead Space, Crystal said.
Yeah, well, of course, she's never finished it. She still needs to finish it on stream. She keeps forgetting, Patrick needs to help me. You know, you need to help yourself.
Help! I need _.
Anyway.
But so the other thing for me, too, though, is like if my top 2 games, and I'd have a hard time trying to stop to think about which I'd pick, is either Resident Evil 4 or Super Metroid. Those are my like top 2 games, really? And I would have to try to find a way to pick between the 2 of them. And I'm not going to do that right now. But what I'm saying is,
I need you to do that right now.
No, Resident Evil 4 remake. I've already gone through I think 2 full playthroughs, and I'm maybe even 3.
Jesus Christ.
And I want to do another one. I kind of stopped it to play some other stuff, but I have no problem with re-downloading it and playing it again. Like I could just jump right back into that game. That's how much I love that game. So,
all right, so what you got next on your list? Let's just take another one from you.
Well, my last one, since I kind of did 2 in 1 there.
Oh, okay. I can do 2 in 1 for the next one.
Lethal Company.
Okay, I don't have to do 2 in 1. Yeah, that is my surprise game of the year.
Yes, definitely.
I think that game it's hilarious. I love that you can create your own stories with how you play it. It's just fun.
Yeah, and especially with this last update where they're changing the hallways up and the way they look and everything. One dude's doing all of this. The only thing, my biggest issue is when one of the updates, they sped up the time for the day, and I think that needs to go back to being a little bit slower.
Right.
Not like super slow, but I mean like you get out, by the time you get from your ship to the front door, it's already almost been 2 hours. It's just way too fast in my eyes. And maybe, and I understand that's part of the challenge, but maybe having the stamina last a little bit longer than it does.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not super long, but just a little bit longer.
I noticed with the last update, it feels like the weight is truly affecting the stamina more.
Yes.
Because I noticed that when I had I did one where I had 20 pounds of stuff, and the stamina's normal, and then I had 70 pounds, and it felt like it drained my stamina way faster.
Yep.
And I think they're going to do something with the radiation stuff, because right now it actually doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're going to do more stuff. It's crazy. That game is crazily built by one person that we've had multiple times, and every time there's something different and that makes it just hilarious.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. So then my last game, which can you guess what it might be?
Diablo 4?
Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
Alan Wake 2 is one of the best sequels that's been made after a game's been away for 13 years.
God.
I can't believe it's been 13 years since that game got released, and they did everything right. The exploration for finding things, the map. There is a new game plus mode in it that changes some parts of the story, which I didn't know, based upon the ending of the game itself. I'm not going to ruin anything. Mm-hmm. And because of the way that it works.
Well, no offense. When you played Alan Wake, I had you up and I was modding and stuff like that, but I wasn't paying too much attention.
Because you wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get it. But I love that. That game was so much fun. And the way that I suggest everybody plays it is not the way that I did, because I went through and I played all of Saga stuff, and then I jumped into Alan Wake stuff, because you play them at 2 different time points. But you really should be jumping, and story-wise, you should be jumping between the 2 of them. Because there's things that Alan Wake does that does cause changes in Saga's world, and you don't realize that as you continue just through Saga's story. Because then she'll say things, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, he did something, or this happened. And then when I play through Alan's story, which is shorter than Saga's, but except for one thing. One of the parts is a little bit longer, I feel. But when I mean shorter, I mean he only has 2 chapters, and she's got 4. But his 2 are longer than the 4 combined that she has. So, but that was definitely one of my favorites of the year. In terms of honorable mentions, we have Final Fantasy 16, which I thought is one of the best Final Fantasies that's been done in a while. Bendy and the Dark Revival. I was very surprised with Bendy and the Ink Machine, and I think the sequel did a good job.
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Cult of the Lamb. I love my little cult, even though I think it came out towards the end of 2022, but I played a lot in 2023. Yeah. Food Truck Simulator. This is one of those games like that Godlike Burger where I just want to turn my brain off and play a game. And all it is you own a food truck, you drive around town, and you're trying to beat your brother who happens to be the competition. I beat it in one afternoon. Not even realized that I was going to beat it. Once I got a hang of it, I was like, okay. And then I didn't even realize that you can customize your menu that you sell, because you sell either pizzas, burgers, or sushi. Sushi sucks in that game. But you can choose your own menu, so you only serve burgers, or you only serve Italian food, or you only serve sushi, which would have made everything easier.
It's a food truck, and there's no tacos or burritos?
No, that's what I said, too. Maybe there's going to be an update later on where there'll be a taco game. The We Were Here series. played those with Quentin this year. Those are all puzzle games. Those are
is that the one with the bomb and all that?
No,
stuff?
that's the one where we get separated, and the only way that we can talk is with the walkie-talkie.
Yeah, and one had to defuse like a bomb.
No. There's a puzzle here and there's a puzzle there, and both of us have to work to complete both puzzles at the same time. So like I might have keep talking and you'll explode.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that I would like to get Alex to play. Like
okay,
if she the problem is that you need a PC, and I know how hard their PC runs sometimes, but it doesn't take a lot. And the people playing with her all have to download the PDF book, and you're basically reading through the book to tell her how to solve the sides of the puzzles.
That's right. Okay, I know. They're similar, and that's I think in my brain they kind of.
Yeah, and then the last one, God of War Ragnarok. I think that's an honorable mention. I love the game a lot. I think it's a really great game, but I just had so much like more fun. And it, like you said, came out in 2022. Don't really think of it 20, but I played most of it in 2023. I think the combat in that's still fucking excellent, and it took me a while to get back into how it works, but the ending of that game is pretty solid.
So, for me, honorable mentions: Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I had a lot of fun with that. I wouldn't mind going back and playing some more of that.
New DLC characters soon.
Oh, nice.
And maps.
That's the thing is they need more maps.
They're taking too long to do it, and that's killing the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Once again, God of War, like you said, Ragnarok. I mean, I know it came out in November of 2022, but basically was playing it all the way into 2023. I actually thought it had came out in 2023. Platinum that game just like I platinum Spider-Man 2. Absolutely love it. The DLC that just came out, I like it and I hate it. Because the whole point of it is if you get, of course, you get stripped of everything, and you're going into Valhalla. Every time you die, you wake up outside and you have to start all over. And each time you're getting stronger and stronger, so you get further and further. But it's getting a little too repetitive, and it's getting to the point where sometimes it's like, no matter how good you are, by the time you get to the person that you have to fight, like boss-wise, you don't even have full health. So it's kind of like
roguelikes.
Like to what?
Roguelikes.
Yeah.
That's what those are.
It's like this was never God of War, so why are we doing this like this all of a sudden?
That's why it's like DLC though.
No, I'm not a big focus on that.
They wanted to do something different. At least they released it for free. You didn't have to pay for it.
No, I agree with that part, but I'm just saying.
Also,
it gets to the point where it's like I want to finish it, but then it gets to something like I'm tired of doing the same thing over and over again.
I get it.
And you can say it will be better and get further, but sometimes it's,
So just before we get out of here, unless you got one more.
I do.
Okay.
And that's As Dusk Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Which came out last year, but I just found out about it this year. And I've already gone through it twice and want to go through it a third time. There's so many different scenarios and so many different endings and different things you can do if you choose different stuff. And I haven't gotten tired of it yet, and I want to find out all these different things that can happen.
See, I remember when that was announced, and I saw like the way the game is, and I just didn't get interested. But I thought it was interesting watching Crystal play through it, and actually thinking, oh, the story's not bad, And I like the chat interaction with Twitch. I think that does a good job.
Yes,
it's better than the Life is Strange one because that one's like, oh, we have it, but it doesn't let the chat pick everything.
Yeah,
and it's not as easy as it is in Dusk Falls, where you just put pound in the number into the chat, and then that's easy to do. It's stuff that pops up on the screen, and then you get to select it, and that doesn't always work well on mobile. Now, he's got something else. I was about to say that with the score of the Browns, and
that's what I was going to do.
That's why I said before we end the score, it's currently 17-14 Texans.
8:42 in the second.
So we got some time. So, Patrick, you got some plugs that you want to go through for everybody? You got like a YouTube channel that you want people to subscribe to?
You have YouTube Solo64.
You have Twitch.
Big Solo64.
That's your Twitch?
Yeah.
I thought
you said Twitch? I thought you said Twitter, bro. My bad. Twitch is Solus_64.
And your Twitter.
Big Solo64.
And then you have a TikTok channel also that you're trying to do.
Solus_64.
And you can watch the video of us doing the Fat Guy food review
on Solus64.
I will post it onto a Google Drive and send it to you shortly.
Also, have you been recording the whole time?
I have been. No, not since then.
Oh.
I just only recorded that section.
If you had done movie
movies?
one. I was going to put that up on our YouTube.
Oh, I can just export this.
Okay.
I'll just log into the back end and export it.
But also, yeah, so you have, yeah, that's basically for me. So what about you?
Oh, well, we have the podcast. You can check out the podcast on Twitter, IBLT Podcast. Email ibltpodcast@gmail.com. Can't talk anymore. Instagram, It Be Like That Podcast. YouTube, It Be Like That Podcast. Twitch, twitch.tv/IBLT Podcast. You can find us every other Saturday at about 12:30 p. Pacific Standard Time. Sometimes 1 o'clock, sometimes 1:30, but mostly in between that time. Also find us ratings and views like Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Google Play, all those things. And time is winding down. As for me, you can find me out there, Twitter at T_T_podcast. YouTube, you can find me as Toolbert or Terrible Terror Podcast. Search for it out there. Music, Toolbert, everything else, Terrible Terror Podcast. Twitch.tv/Terrible Terrors. That is the Twitch. I'm live every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And right now I'm doing a little extra ones on Wednesdays and Fridays. And once the football season's over, I might go back to doing some Sunday morning type streams.
Yeah, when football's all over, I'll probably do some more solo stuff on.
And
I gotta finish fucking Uncharted 4.
And that's where I might be doing some like role playing streams or like. You know, if I start getting back more into Final Fantasy 14, I might do those streams on those days. Because if I'm going to play it, I might as well stream it at the same time.
You know, I wouldn't mind getting into an MMORPG or whatever one, but like it's the point of having people to play with.
I need to get you into the finals. I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with everything and get you to play it.
Their website's a total R word. That's what it is.
Well, that's it. Also, check out Terrible Terror Podcast, where I am watching Destroy Your Neighbors, a new movie that just got released on Shudder. It looks really fun. A lot of practical effects. Kind of reminds me of Psycho Gorman, if you've ever seen that. But you can check that out. And Patrick, do you have anything else that you'd like to say out to the people out there in Twitch land?
I'm hungry.
He's hungry. All right. Bye, everybody on